All right, 7:15 on the dot. Good Thursday evening, everyone. I'm Fox 19 Now. First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart with the 7:15 weather show, or should I say weather snow, not snowy yet, but things are going to change here in the tri-state in a hurry as we work our way through the weekend. Even starting tomorrow, we have three, count them, three First Alert weather days on the way. I wish that was coffee. Three on the way. One is Friday, tomorrow. We catch a break for Saturday, and then our next one arrives the day after there on Monday, as you can see here. Tomorrow, and all three are going to be vastly different for different reasons, right? Tomorrow, the threat is a strong storm threat. We'll talk about all of these things in detail. Just be patient before you start asking me how much snow you're going to see, because I'll talk about it. It's coming. I would not skip over that part, I promise. Tomorrow, strong storms, mostly through the afternoon. The severe weather window is about 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's when we have enough energy in the atmosphere to get a strong storm or two to pop up. Is it going to happen? We might not see any strong storms at all. It's a very low-end threat, but nonetheless, it's not a zero threat, so that is why tomorrow, because it's going to be disruptive to the evening commute in particular, and it's going to be windy through the day. That is why Friday's a First Alert weather day. Sunday, another disruptive day. It's mostly wet and windy, but with those temperatures tumbling through the day, it's going to go from wet and windy to wet and wintry very quickly late Sunday night, and then we see mostly wintry weather on Monday. Some breaks in between. None of these days are washouts by any means. We have, we're going to see some good timing in some of these situations too. Friday, while we will have an evening slowdown, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, by 6 to 7, most areas are drying back out, so that's good for high school football. Sunday, Bengals aren't in town, so we all win on Sunday. And then, so you can stay inside and enjoy all the wet and wintry, nasty weather from inside your house. And then Monday and Tuesday, just sleep in. You'll be all right there, too. We'll talk about all these days in detail. Let's get to it. Today's weather number is 3, not the number of First Alert weather days we have, though that also works. But it is 3 weeks until Thanksgiving Day. How does that tie into the weather? Well, our normal first measurable snowfall date is the day after Thanksgiving. So 3 weeks and a day away on November the 28th. Thanksgiving is on the 27th this year. That is when we typically, on average, see some snowfall. Now, sometimes we see some ahead of that. Sometimes we see snowfall later than that, right? That's just the normal day. This snowfall could, if we do see measurable snowfall Monday, could be well ahead of schedule by, what is that? Quick math, 18 days. So, it's going to be messy out there. Just stay tuned. I'm going to work my way through all of that for you for each of the 3 days. Let's talk about some nice things first. Any tornado chances in Williamstown? We'll talk about the severe weather threat tomorrow. Very low-end threat for damaging wind and hail. I don't see a lot of ingredients in place for tornadoes tomorrow. If we saw one, it would be a very short-lived spin-up. And even that, it would be hard to find, I think, in our area. Better chances more so down by like Bowling Green, Kentucky, and then on down in towards the Nashville area, but even that is a small risk. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a second. Right now, nice, really nice outside, calm, 50 degrees. I mean, it's still comfy, too. Started off a little chilly, but these clouds that are starting to push in, and that east-southeast wind will help to hold temperatures up just a bit as we work our way through the overnight hours. Most spots will end up bottoming out in the mid-40s. A little warmer than what we saw outside yesterday, which was mid to upper 30s. And by yesterday, I mean this morning, because I can't talk. High pressure sliding off to the east. That's been keeping us nice and dry. You can see that cloud cover, that blanket of clouds, which will hold temperatures up as we work way through the overnight. And then we have our little pair of lows, which we've been keeping a close eye on, finally drifting across the country. Right now, the only rain that's anywhere close to us is up to the northwest of Chicago there and portions of Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. But that threat arrives here tomorrow. Looks like a dry morning, and then things will pick up through the afternoon with some daytime heating. We could certainly see a strong storm or two. Again, it's a low-end threat, 1 out of 5 on our severe weather scale, down to the southwest of Lexington, more so down towards Bowling Green, into Nashville, and, central portions of Tennessee. That's that slight risk. That's a 2 out of 5. That's where they'll have the slightly better chances, more ingredients to get severe storms going. For us, generally, like I said yesterday, around and southeast of the I-71 corridor, that is where we have the best chances to see a strong storm or two, if we see any at all. JD asking how I'm doing. I'm great. What is the weather for Canton? It will be cloudy, and I will also have a good night. Thank you. Working our way on through. Here's the lows tomorrow. Not bad, especially compared to what we're going to see outside early next week. So, you'll need a jacket or coat in most spots, but you won't need it for long. And please, while you're at it, watching here on the stream, don't forget to take us with you on the go. This is a free app. Go to fox19.com/apps. If you're looking for a good weather app, take this one, download it, take it with you, because we update this forecast ourselves. You're not just getting something from Apple or Google or any of the other things that just spit in numbers, and this is put in by actual forecasters, actual meteorologists, right? So take it with you, and not only can you see great forecasts. I mean, this one's not great, trust me. It's some of my best work for the Bad News Brad branding, but take the forecast with you. Great app to have. You'll get warnings, too, if we see anything issued in the wintry or stormy department, because we got a little bit of everything the next 3-4 days. You'll be the first to know with that app. Now, here we go through Friday. Like I said, a mostly dry start. I have not seen this run of this model. This is new because just the last run of the model that I showed on the air did not have any rain here at all in the morning. But you can see this one tries to bring in some showers by 9 o'clock. So we'll just watch this together for the first time each. You can see the first line of showers dives on through, pushes off to the southeast. And that is where we will likely see the best chances here for some stronger storms. By the afternoon, with some daytime heating, we certainly see some redevelopment here. Again, and you can see kind of it starts right where that severe weather risk area was. That's the 71 corridor running right through here, around and southeast of downtown. So we'll keep our eyes on that. That is where the strong storm threat will be. It pushes out in most areas of the tri-state by 5 to 6 o'clock. Not everybody gets wet. Not everybody sees a rumble of thunder tomorrow. In that case, I guess here's a rumble of thunder, right? But good timing on this, because by 6 to 7 o'clock, most of that's out of here. And if you have any lingering teams out there in some high school football playoffs, most areas should be dry for that. We work our way through early Saturday morning. The threat there, I know it's not just screaming to you, but this down here would be fog trying to develop. So around and generally southeast of town is where we also have a chance to see some fog early Saturday morning. That could slow you down as you head out the door. Kind of one of those hidden threats, and that's going to be the worst part about your Saturday. The rest of the day looks mostly dry, a little gloomy at times, but that's Saturday at 6, and that will be the start of the FC Cincinnati match Saturday evening to get finally Columbus out of these playoffs. So, sandwiched in between 3 first alert weather days. So, Friday, again, is for severe weather, low-end threat, but not a zero threat. Saturday is nothing. Sunday, maybe a little fog early Saturday morning, but again, with it not being a big commute morning, should not have many people out on the road early Saturday anyway, unless you really have to get out there. Sunday, Monday, that's where things start to go downhill, literally and figuratively. Temperatures will be dropping all day Sunday. It's going to be windy. We'll see some gusts on Sunday over 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour or so, and that's going to make it feel pretty nasty on top of the rain that's going to be on and off through the day. Now, late Sunday, when the temperatures finally drop low enough, we'll see some flakes mixing in, maybe some sleet. And then that wintry transition continues through Monday, where we will see a chance for accumulating snowfall. Will it be a lot? Probably not, right? Maybe a dusting, and this is not going to impact the roadways. The only way it's going to impact most of the roadways is going to be limiting the visibility and slowing you down Monday. So just pack your patience there as we head out into next week. Here we go. There's the rest of Saturday. Again, that 6 o'clock kick looking nice, a little gloomy. I've turned the clouds off. This is only going to show precipitation here on the weather timeline, just so we could see some snow and rain and everything just a little bit more clearly, so it wasn't cluttering the screen. But 6 o'clock for FC Cincinnati looks great. By the time that game wraps up around, let's say, 9 or so, 10 o'clock, we're still mostly dry. The only way you're going to run into some rainfall more than likely Saturday is going to be if you're heading home from the match and you have to head north. let's say, Butler, Warren, Clinton County, southeast Indiana, Dayton. If you're driving down from Dayton, yeah, you might run into some rain on the way home, but this is just going to be plain old rain, nothing to worry about. No strong storms, no wintry weather, so no reason to not go to FC Cincinnati if you got the tickets this weekend. Now, Sunday, here's where things start to change. Sunday, we start off very wet, and temperatures will start off near the 50-degree mark. Just after midnight or so, we'll be dropping through the day. By midday, we haven't dropped much, but that cooler air really starts to funnel on down by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We'll drop about 10 degrees into the upper 30s, mid to upper 30s, which is where some sleet could mix in. And that'll be Sunday evening. Monday morning, it all goes from wet to wintry. And again, we will see some dry time. Not everybody will be seeing the wintry weather, but those that do, if some of these snow bands are intense enough, you could see a brief dusting of heavy, wet snow. It's weird to say dusting, too, when it's going to be kind of that heavy, wet snow, but you're not going to see a ton of it. But if you do, it'll be short-lived and on a grassy or an elevated surface, like a deck, mailbox, or just the grass outside, the leaves. Temperatures in the low to mid-30s Monday. Right, low 30s to start, but then we warm back up to about 36, 37 degrees. So what's there will not last long, and the roads will be too warm ahead of this for any of this to make the roads slick. Don't worry too much about wintry or slick roadways. What you have to worry about is a limited visibility on Monday, because it will, at times, these snow bands, if they're intense enough, could limit the visibility to less than a quarter mile. Monday evening, after seeing some more sleet and rain and trying to mix back in, we're back down to the low 30s again after 5 to 6 o'clock, and more snow is possible. Now, this is one model, one run of one model, right? There are a bunch of different models, all of which are technically mathematically possible things. With that said, I will show you a comparison here in a second of a different model that is very popular. It shows nothing, because it's going to be a little bit warmer, and that storm system is going to be just a little bit farther off to the north, so it's going to limit any of the snowfall. This is the one that looks the worst, and I love showing those because that's my branding. So, with that said, this is as bad as it could be. Tuesday, a lake effect band right off of Lake Michigan tries to dive into our northwesternmost communities and tries to keep some snow showers up towards Fayette and Union counties. If that snow band it does form, and it's, a little bit more potent than this, we could certainly see some more snow showers early Tuesday. If you have to drive to northern Indiana, you could run into some issues from that. So be aware. Behind this, things turn around in a hurry. The southerly breeze returns, and it's going to be a little breezy Wednesday, and we're right back into the mid-50s. So if we see any snow, it will not be around. Man, I just can't talk ever. It won't be around by the time we hit Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. It'll be out of here. Most spots, it's not going to stick around even through Tuesday. So, by the end of next week, that's our next chance for rain. Spotty chance mostly south of town. We'll keep an eye on that. That is a long ways away. Here's the comparison. Again, worst case, make this bigger for you so you can see it. Hold, please. Model number 1. This is the one I just showed you. The one that brings in quite a bit of snowfall. Just be aware, this does not take into effect that it is going to be a very heavy and very wet snow. It does not take into effect ground or road temperatures. This one has, in some spots, a little over a half-inch of snow up on the northeast side of town. First things first, that's not a lot of snow anyway. Some spots, maybe a few pockets, a little higher amounts, but it's going to compress because it's a heavy, wet snow. So just whatever sticks is not going to stick around long. It's just going to be too warm by Monday afternoon, and especially through the end of this week. Some areas could see much more, and that much more is up by the lakes, because they are going to see lake effect snow through the second half of the weekend and through the day Monday, and they will see significantly higher amounts. If you have any travel plans that take you up towards, again, Lake Michigan or Lake Erie, you are going to run into some problems up that way, because that is where the snow will be the worst. Now, like I told you, that's just one run of one model. Here's the other one. That's the one that the snow lovers don't like, model number 2. If you're like me, though, I would love number 2. Less snow, that would be fantastic, please. This one, the reason why, again, the storm system itself is going to be a little bit farther up to the northeast. It's a little bit farther away from us. It's going to bring in slightly warmer temperatures, which limit how much snow can actually fall to begin with. And it just does not bring in as much moisture. So that's model number 2. Again, split on the models. This is why Cincinnati is impossible to forecast for, because it never, ever is just easy. Actually, somebody reached out to me a couple weeks ago and gave me some numbers. They do annual kind of surveys, data surveys on most or least accurate forecasts or ability to forecast. And Cincinnati is one of the hardest markets. Not the hardest. It's not within the top 100. But they went out of, I think it was like 800 things they surveyed. Different areas, right? And Cincinnati was easily much closer to the hard to forecast than it was the not. And the reason is because we have a lot of changes, right, all the time. Our forecasts here, it's we don't have a very stagnant forecast for very long here, unless it's early September. We have cold one day, we have hot, and then this next several days, sums that up. This is why it's very hard to forecast here. So I find ourselves in a very comfortable medium between Model 1 and Model 2. I don't think we see no snow at all. I do think there will at least be a few areas here in the tri-state that see some light accumulation, maybe a quick dusting. Not on the roads, but on those grassy and elevated surfaces. And I don't think we see Model 1. I just think that's too much snow. Here, I'll show you both of these. Zoomed out versions. Here, a zoomed out version of snow forecast number 1. And again, up towards the Great Lakes is where this is going to be the worst. You can see that lake effect band off of Lake Michigan there, really making things messy just the southwest of South Bend. Knox, Indiana, Warsaw, down towards Noble, Indiana, Kokomo area. That is a lot of snow for this early in the season. But it is a lake effect. It's perfect because that wind is going to be coming, they call it fetch, right? The longer the wind can come down the lake in the same direction, that increases the amount or the potential for the lake effect snow band. So a lot of times what they get in Buffalo, you've already seen, you've seen a lot of things out of Buffalo, right? When the wind's just right, they can get feet and feet and feet of snow because the way the lake is angled, look where it points. Right to Buffalo. So if you have that southwest wind going right up a Lake Erie and you get that lake effect band to go right into Buffalo, you can get feet and feet and feet of snow. So that's why this band in particular has the potential to be a little bit worse than what you're going to see up towards Lake Erie. Look at that. Hot spot because that wind is going to be coming northwest to southeast. So you're going to have a lot of fetch. You'll be able to get a lot of snow out of that. You can see it tries to bring some of that down towards Fayette County if it lines up just perfectly Tuesday morning. Will this happen? I hope not, but we'll keep you updated if it looks like model run after model run keeps that higher amount in there. Lake Erie, like I said, if you have to head towards northern Ohio, you're going to run into some problems. Either way. All right, here's the model that shows you nothing. It shows you much less snow because that storm system will be farther up to the northeast. It keeps then most of the snowfall, even lake effect snow, up towards the northeastern portions of Lake Erie. And for us here, it would be at the most just some flakes flying and then melting kind of on impact. Not a lot of snow at all. So winter lovers, you'll like model number 1. If you like model number 2, you are like me. Let's talk about nobody's asking questions, which is amazing. So hopefully that means I've just done a good job of over-explaining everything. Hell is real forecast to kick Columbus out of the playoffs. Let's go. 59 degrees outside for the March. Really nice weather for this. The only chance you have for a stray sprinkle, and I think really the icons there, I'll probably have to adjust that, but I think they overdo it a little bit. Most of this is going to be nice and dry. Unless you're driving home and you're heading north, you'll run into a few showers up north late Saturday night. But that kickoff's at 6, so imagine most of you will be in bed by, or back home anyways by, 10 probably, and at that point most of us are still dry outside and still not that uncomfortable, still at 50 degrees. That'll be the high temperature Sunday, dropping all day. Yes, these are low temperatures. That low is the same as the high because it's happening right there Sunday morning at 50 degrees at midnight, and then we're tumbling from there. A big swing back down to 29 degrees Monday morning. We're going to hit 60, 65 degrees outside Friday, all the way back to 25 degrees, almost a 40-degree swing from Friday afternoon to Tuesday morning. Very chilly, and on top of that, it's going to be breezy. Feels like temperatures in some spots could hit the teens. early Tuesday morning. That feels like not actual temperatures. Let's see. Used to live in Florida, so I'll take Cincinnati's weather over a hot and humid armpit all day, any day. Yes, I also agree, having also lived mistakenly in Florida. Yeah. I'll take variability. So we were just talking about this, my fiance and I, and it was about the forecast, here and how, it's a little chilly outside right now, but I mean, you need that. You need your natural body clock just needs that transition period with hoodie weather and sweatshirts to just accept that the season is changing, because when you don't get that in Florida and it's just the same thing all day every day except for January, you just forget what time of the year it is and it just kind of messes you up. Anyway, so I'll take the gloom, I'll take the rain, and it gives me something to talk about. All right. Yeah, stay inside and bake. Like I said, this is just a brief blast of winter. It will not last long. This takes us almost up to Thanksgiving, and you'll see that a big pile of abnormally high temperatures will be sticking around for much of the country here. That runs all the way through November 20th. It's not to say you can't see a cool down or two in between, but most of that 8 to 14 days will be above normal for us. And you'll see it here. It's a messy start to this 7-day forecast. We'll make up for it. Just bear with me. 62 there Friday. Slim chance for a strong storm or two. That's why that is pulsing red for a first alert weather day. Saturday looks great, except for the slimmest of chances for a shower late Saturday night. So FC Cincinnati looks good, kicking off right around the upper 50s. 50 degrees Sunday, that is midnight, and then we're dropping all day from there. So 50 all the way back to 29 Monday morning. That is why we go from wet to wintry, and then stay wintry for the most part into Monday. Not a lot of accumulation, but we could see some on grassy and elevated surfaces. With that said, roads will be mostly wet and not wintry. With all that said, you could still see some limited visibility with the snow shower. So I do think the Monday's commutes are going to be a challenge, not because we're going to see slick spots, because we have, you know how it is. People see the snow, they'll freak out. It's just how it is. It happens when the roads are wet, and we will have some wet roads. Plus the flakes will be flying, plus it'll be breezy. That is all going to mess with your eyes, and it's going to make things tough to see on the road. So pack your patience Monday. Tuesday, a few flakes will try to hang around up to the north. That's that lake effect band I was talking about for Veterans Day. But if we see any snow Monday, it'll be gone by Tuesday afternoon. A few peaks of sunshine, we're back to 40. 50s by Wednesday, upper 50s Thursday, and we are back to 60 next Saturday for that next UC home game over at Nippert Stadium. So it's a quick turnaround, a little taste of winter, maybe to remind you to start stocking up on the rock salt, and maybe make sure you polish off that snow shovel. Get those things ready, because it won't be long till we get back into actual winter. Actual winter less than 50 days away. What was it? 50 days until Christmas was yesterday. I think it's the 21st. Oh, probably about 45 days away, somewhere in there. It's the first day of winter, and we're getting an early taste of it this year. We'll see how much we get, but at least for now, I'm not expecting much in the way of accumulation. But if that changes, you'll be the first to know if you keep on watching me right here. And we'll be back tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock on Fox 19 Now. And you can always get updates and terrible memes and a whole bunch of other bad news if you're a glutton for punishment by following me on social media. Meteorologist Brad Maushart on Facebook, at BRAAAAAD Weather on Instagram. Not Instagram, on Twitter and or X or whatever. And Instagram is Call Me Brad. And sometime within the next 37 days, I will get my laptop working and edit photos, and there will be some new stuff on there, because right now it's lacking. I can't say it's not for lack of trying. Anyway, I keep breaking my computer. Brand new, out of the box. And the driver update got me. Anyway, that's way too much information for you. You don't care. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your Friday morning, and batten down the hatches with those 3 first alert weather days on the way. Meteorologist Catherine Bodak will be back tomorrow morning to get you through Friday morning. We'll be back, Aaron and I, tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be here tomorrow evening to get you through any kind of strong storms that might develop. And then I will be hiding inside for the rest of the weekend. You will not find me anywhere. Enjoy. At least for Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you again tonight at 10 and 11.